Congratulations, you're single. Today we're gonna go down a list of 10 reasons why being single is way better than being in the wrong relationship. Hi, my name is Alexa, and if you're new here, this channel is all about empowerment. I have a podcast called Taking Our Power Back. And right now I'm doing a series on congratulations, you're single. I don't hear enough positive content of why being single is so amazing and how to make the best out of being single. All I see on the internet is how to get a man, how content on both sides, how to finesse, and how to make yourself be more desirable to the opposite sex. And I really feel like that is so much overconsumption of that, but I don't see enough of how to be the best version of yourself and utilize your single era to the max. And I'm here to tell you, as a woman that's decentered man and has been on a healing and self-development intentional journey for years now, I'm here to go down a list of 10 reasons why being single is so much better than being in the wrong relationship. Let's get started. This is Ether, by the way. Hi, people. We've been in a relationship. First, let me take a glass of wine. Cheers to our single era. A little backstory about me. I spent majority of my 20s in and out of relationships. I was that certified lover girl to the max. Number one of why being single is way better than being in the wrong relationship is peace of mind. We all know the anxiety that comes with starting a new romantic relationship. First, it feels like butterflies, and then it feels like you're floating, and then it feels like you're dreaming, and then you can't get enough of the person, and you're just counting every second until you see them again. You're kind of in that roller coaster of emotions, of highs and lows. We're having so much fun. Oh my God, I miss them. Oh my God, when am I going to see them again? And it's just like, it's fun. I'm not going to lie. It's really fun when you start liking somebody. But after that honeymoon phase and you start to get to know them, and you start to intermingle, you start to intertwine your actual real life with theirs, stress is naturally going to come after this, because it's two people that are completely different navigating a life together. So confusion is going to happen. That's inevitable. And not everyone can handle the stress that comes with that. Some people pull away, some people ghost, some people get overwhelmed, and this is completely normal. That's why picking the right relationship is so important. Don't just settle for just any relationship, because there is somebody out there that can ease your nervous system, and you deserve to be at peace in a relationship. This girl I know for years recently got married, and we caught up and had a fairy tale wedding. It was so beautiful. And I asked her, how did you know that he was the one? And she basically said, I never had to worry about him texting me back. I loved that answer. It was giving lover girl all over it. And I think we can all resonate with that. It was him because she was at peace with the communication. She was at peace with her expectations. She knew and trusted that he will communicate back. And I think it's those little gestures that really cause a lot of peace in a relationship. So, number two, the second reason of why it's better to be single than in the wrong relationship is freedom to be yourself. When you're alone, what do you do? Whatever you want to do. When you live alone, what do you do? Whatever you want to do. When you're single, what do you do? Whatever you want to do. There's no one to report to. Of course, you have your values and your morals and your job and your responsibilities. But other than that, if you want to rot in bed one night, you can. If you want to take a trip on Friday without telling anybody, you can. And there's not that responsibility of being what somebody expects of you. A loving partner, reliable partner, someone there for them, someone to help them through their stress. And when it comes to a relationship, the number one advice that I give people is be ready to compromise. So when you're single, there is no compromising. You can follow your bliss. You can go right, left, up, down, make mistakes. And no one is going to be burdened or reap the effects of your mistakes. You're able to really move through life according to your own morals and values, instead of compromising to somebody else. And this is a great time to really experiment, and isolation is that time where you really get to spend with yourself. No settling for less. Being single means that at least you're not settling for the wrong relationship. So many people settle. Maybe your parents settle, maybe your friends have settled, or you just see it happening so much around you. Know when it's happening because they don't have that glitz in their eye. They don't call the person their soulmate, and they're not showing exaggerations of love. Not that that's necessary, but you can feel it when two people are just meant for each other. It's inevitable. And I think this is beautiful to see. Not everyone's going to have this soulmate romance and marriage and happily ever after. Some people do settle, which is totally okay. If that person aligns with your goals and values and religion and you guys have the same plans and you get along, go at it. But one piece of mind that I want to give you during your single time is at least you're not settling. Number 4 is my favorite one. This is a perfect time to work on yourself and become that dream partner for yourself. I know, at least for me, I always felt like all my life I belonged to somebody. I had to show up for my family when I was younger. Then I had to show up for my boyfriends when I was younger. Then I had to show up as a student, as an employee. I never really dedicated much time to myself. So being an adult and having more power with my time, I'm not a student anymore. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not a child anymore. I live alone and I make my own rules. I have been devoting so much time to my self-growth and really evaluating where in my life can I work? Where in my life am I settling for less? And this will give you so much perspective on the person that you want to become. So what does that mean? The person that you're going to attract is going to be on that level of the person you are becoming. It's important to be present and be grateful for the now, but having goals to work towards really gives you values in life. It gives you standards so that you don't settle for less because you know where you're going, right? And you know the benefits of where you're going. So if you continue with that self-development, work on your confidence, work on your hobbies, work on your business, work on your passion skills. You might meet your dream partner when you develop those hobbies. You guys might be competing at a tournament in the future together. Don't settle because the future you can attract somebody that aligns with them. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not fully happy with different areas of your life. Maybe you're not happy. I know a lot of girls, they're like, I don't want to date because I'm not happy with my job and I'm not happy with where I'm at. Perfect. Then don't date. Work on yourself, babe, because when you get there, you're going to attract a different caliber of partner. Number 5 is when you're single, you can work on your other types of relationships. These can be friendships. These could be work relationships. This could be family bonds or just relationships with strangers. You can, during this time of being single, you can really develop strong relationships outside of just romance. If you have goals of finding a community, if you have goals of finding a really good best friend, if you have goals of finding a mentor, this is the time. I think sometimes we get stuck on because of media and society rules that we always have to be in a relationship and when we're not, our main focus should be looking for another relationship. No! Imagine the benefit of finding a mentor. Imagine the benefit of mentoring. Imagine the benefit of volunteering your time. There are so many different fulfilling relationships that you can have. For example, I got a dog because I was feeling like I want to take care of something. And I know that's my feminine nurturing instincts of I want a baby. But am I ready right now? No, I'm not in the exact position to have a baby right now. But what can I do? I can get a fur baby and that's what I got. My relationship with my dog has taught me so much about myself. I've grown so much because having a puppy and having a baby is almost the same. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I love you, Ether. He's right below me. Number 6 is avoiding emotional drain. Story time. So a few years ago, I remember I have a really good best friend and I told her that I wanted to be in a relationship. And then she said, let me hook you up with my friend. I was like, oh. Let's just say 6 months later, we are in a relationship. So it happened, but it didn't happen. We saw connected through a mutual friend. So we moved a little faster than anyone else would move. And I have to be honest, that relationship drained me. But I'm not going to tell you it was toxic or whatever. I realized it was draining me on a physical level. I got acne. I got GERD. that I started developing digestive issues where I couldn't hold down dairy anymore. I am from the Bronx. My favorite food ever is pizza. Pizza from New York is bomb. So I was eating pizza my whole life without any issues. But out of nowhere, I get with this person and I'm developed digestive issues where like I had to carry apple cider vinegar pills in my bag because I couldn't hold down food. And it was because the relationship just wasn't right for my nervous system. For example, I'm a very like independent person and he was very codependent. So that was draining me, having to nurture his, and he was very insecure because of his past traumas. So this was taking a burden on me. My hair was super thin. I was super skinny because again, I couldn't eat happily anymore. My skin, oh my gosh, like my skin is so clear and you would not, I'm like stress acne when it's right here. My body was literally telling me that he was the wrong relationship, but I didn't listen. And then finally I got bombarded with a reason to end the relationship. So there are women that have it even worse, into abusive relationships. And this relationship that I'm talking about was a 6-month relationship. And I was developing that much stress. Imagine if I married him. Imagine if I had his kids. Imagine the lifelong effects of being in a relationship that's really bad for your nervous system. So congratulations, you're single and you're not dealing with health issues from being in the wrong relationship. Think about it. Think about the last time you were in a toxic relationship and think about like any symptoms. Your body keeps the score and it will tell you, baby, you are in the wrong place. Please get us out of here. First of all, 7 is my favorite number, but number 7 is probably my favorite one. Being single helps you have clarity on what you do want. They do say dating is amazing because you get to explore what works for you, what doesn't, don't you like, what keeps you, what, gives you butterflies, what doesn't. So this hits home. Time alone helps you reflect on what you truly value in a partner and in a relationship. You also learn from dating other people or hearing about relationships from your friends and your family or watching them on TV. I learned a lot from the like shows. You learn a lot from The Bachelor and these dating shows. I learned a lot from reading books. I learned a lot from podcasts. I learned from social media story times. There was recently my friend put me onto the story time. I married an NFL player. That's a really good one. It has like something episodes. And he was basically a narcissist. And she had 2 kids with him. She stayed way too long. But I have empathy for anybody that is in a relationship with a narcissist because you don't really know that you're in it until like you're out and you're like, wild. Okay? It's easy and it's hard to leave a relationship. Okay? We'll give you some clarity on what you want. I do recommend during your single time to be alert, learn, to be oblivious to what's going on around you. Read people's actions. I love comparing people's words to their actions because they will really tell you a lot about a person. Majority of people talk. Their actions hardly ever going to meet up with their words. And I am guilty of this too. That's just human behavior. Robert Greene is an amazing person. Listen to his YouTube videos, read his books. Learning about human behavior will teach you a lot. Also like watching other relationships, I learned a lot from my mom's and my dad's relationship of what I didn't want and what I wanted. 8 is freedom to explore life. At least for me, in my experience, I always felt like I couldn't, like whenever I was in a relationship, and I was in relationships majority of my 20s, I would feel like there were things I couldn't do. Like travel with my girlfriends, like go on a solo trip when I was in a relationship, because at least from my background being Dominican, like we're supposed to be very submissive, homebodies, taking care of the home and being like a servant to their husbands. Really just the main responsibility is having kids. So even though I had these urges to explore, I'm a Sagittarius, so I had urges like I want to explore, I want to try new things. I always felt like, oh, that's wrong. So since I've been intentionally single, it's been amazing. I actually went to Africa. I traveled alone many places. And it's so amazing to travel and not have that, of like do something with, I have to like With a partner and then traveling by yourself is just so different. I've traveled with partners where they create the itinerary, maybe because they're paying for most of it. You know what I mean? Or like masculine and dominating. And actually, as a feminine woman, I want to follow their lead because I've experienced this one way of traveling with a partner, and then I experienced traveling with girlfriends or by myself. I can honestly say I like traveling by myself and with girlfriends. I just haven't met the partner that can't wait to meet the partner where like traveling together I feel like I'm traveling alone, because we're both giving each other so much freedom, so that when we get together it feels like freedom but together. Like, that makes sense. The partner that makes my alone time feel even more amazing because of the freedom that he gives me, so that when we get together, I crave his energy, because I've already gotten enough alone time that I crave his energy. And now we are experiencing freedom together. Number 9 reason of why it's amazing to be single versus in the wrong relationship is financials. I actually have experience with this. I remember my 5-year relationship. I got into a 5-year relationship in my early 20s. I highly don't recommend getting in a serious relationship at that time. But he was a heavy spender. So even though he was paying for majority of the things, I still, like, you become the people that you're around. So I became more of a spender while I was with him. Even though I started from humble beginnings, I noticed that I was picking up his extravagant spending habits. And this is natural because when you spend so much time with somebody, this was 5 years with him and we eventually lived together, you're going to pick up their bad habits and their good habits. And he had a heavy spending habit. So when you're single, you have full control of your finances. And I will say, I have seen myself make so much more money during my single time versus my time in a relationship, because you just have more time to think of ideas, to monetize, to diversify your income. Part of the self-growth is you have a lot of time back. You don't have these responsibilities, weekend-long plans, so you can really spend all weekend making money. You have a lot of time back. Utilize that time, get rich. And for number 10, which is my favorite, is it took me a long time to realize that when you're single, you are not alone. Maybe make your relationship with yourself the best place to be, because even if when you get married to your dream partner, which you are going to find your dream partner if that is what you desire, you still die with you, honey. Especially women. Women are living longer than men. So just make your relationship with yourself a beautiful place to be. I write love letters to myself. I take care of myself like a baby. My skincare routine is so long. My apartment looks like a spa. For real. I buy myself soft pajamas. There's nobody taking care of me right now. When you're an adult, there's nobody taking care of you. Start taking care of yourself like you are your firstborn baby. Because if you desire motherhood one day, like my motherhood, my friends are mothers, you don't have that time to do that 10-step skincare anymore, depending on your reality. But you're going to be more tired. So this is the time to pamper yourself. When you truly take care of yourself like a baby, your standards are so high because you're like, I take care of myself, 10 out of 10. You are not welcome. You are not coming into my life with mediocrity. My pillowcases are 100% silk. I don't even have mediocrity in my own life, and then you're going to come with half-assing things. Your standards get so high once you build your self-love. There is so many. I just gave you 10 benefits of why, congratulations, you're single. Let me know in the comments which out of the 10 really resonated with you. I feel like for me, it's financial freedom and self-growth. Those are the ones I have really leaned into. Let me know which one do you have. I love you. Bye from your favorite Dominicana from New York City. Mwah.